If you haven't read this book, The Body Keeps the Score, and you went through any kind of trauma in your childhood or in your life, I highly, highly recommend that you read it. I am almost to the end. I have like that much left. I have probably cried like more than 5 times reading this book. This book has just so many great things you can just put into practice in your life now. And it really opened my eyes the other night when I was reading this part where the psychologist is speaking with the patient. He says, finally, with my encouragement, she was able to rush into the scene and take the girl away with her to a safe place, the scene in which she had become frozen so long ago. So he's referring to the scene kind of stuck with you, that traumatized you, or that really affected you whenever you went through your trauma. For me, that was when I was younger. My stepdad was very abusive. He would scream, yell, cuss at us, throw things, and I was terrified of that as a child. So I told myself, you know, if I'm quiet and I don't say anything, he can't yell at me. I can't get in trouble for anything. So that was the defense mechanism that I created, was being quiet and not sharing who I was, not sharing my personality, not being an expressive child. And I learned to do that in other situations rather than just at home. I learned to do that with friends, at work, in school. And doing that, I really lost who I was, lost my personality. I wasn't expressive at all. It was hard for me to make friends. It was hard for me to participate in school, to do interviews, to give presentations. It really affected so much of my life doing that. And it's something that I'm still struggling with. I still struggle at work, expressing myself and making connections and building rapport with people. And that's something that's hard, because you have to do that to, you know, be able to succeed and grow wherever you want to. And just reading that the other night, I kind of did that mentally. I went back to that time in my life. I remember the exact moment. I was sitting in the back of our minivan, and I told myself, I just got yelled at. I told myself, you know what? If I'm quiet, he can't yell at me and I can't get in trouble. So I went back to that moment mentally in my mind. I pulled myself out of the van and I said, you know what? No, you're not going to be quiet. You can be as expressive as you want to. You are in a safe, happy home now. That is not the environment that we live in. And I'm getting emotional now, but I think just doing that really lifted a weight off my shoulders. It changed the story in my mind. It changed the narrative in my mind. I'm not held by that thought anymore. So if you have a moment like that, or maybe it's multiple moments, I encourage you to go back to that in your mind and change the narrative, and something will just happen. Something will just flip in you mentally, because I know I held on to that memory for so long. And that's not the only example of great things that are in this book. I can't talk about it enough. So if that's something you relate to, I highly, highly recommend that you grab this.